Minister is the head. Not all of us are government. A Prime Minister is the head of government.
Chelono. Hey. Nah.
Sita, Chelono. I am the I just I'm a head of government. I'm a government head. Man, I go on who become. Dr. Gwego Kekeme. Aku Igbo ki geji ajaju Ibiko.
English. I'm here. English.
All right, my brother, go ahead.
English. So, because my mom go to the Igbo space and I speak English. Even our so-called Prime Minister, I do on our Igbo. Or be I do on English, and I've been listening. Can no call an answer he no answer Igbo. I do and answer quite in Igbo. Man, I deba. Allow me now. When you go in car, na chen no peba sense bankete. E ku me anything. E ba pa kan ku nteme e be ba e si okwo.
Don't worry, able to go. Go ahead, please.
No, yeah, brother, I ain't telling you Igbo. That's just one thing to talk. I'm a quan conyo on Amaro. My question number one. Because our Prime Minister. My question I got the ESN on formula na enyensobu na Southeast. Ma ndị nke na-ekidnap ndị mmadụ achọrọ m ịma biko ESN nke ifeọmụrụ na-ekidnap ndị mmadụ maka enwego m nke asọ ha na-asị enwego m first hand information from onye eburu n'ọka ebiaje kamp eruo na kamp adọbịa na kamp eme ihe niile asị na ha niile ego ha ji ego mgbọ and one or two n'ọnya ka eji ya chọrọ ha ego mgbọ ha eti okwe ihe ha eme okwe ihe ọnwụna ha ewu dị fon enweghị ha mere ha metụghị aka atọ ha treated ha nyere ya presidential treatment and ndị ha na-ebute ebe ha na-enye ha presidential treatment as insofar as na ya ekwetene ihe ha kwuru enye ha ego ha ji eme ya ha burukwe gị pis ha ebu ezu ọdị moto ya onwe ha even ma ndị polisi ya ha made ihe ọnwụna to the police ya at all. So achọrọ m ịma number one ọkwa ndị ESN n'ụlọ ife na-eme ife ahụ one. Then secondly achọrọ m ịma the struggle ịgbagoro mbọ onye isi bụ ya onye isi gị achọrọ m ịma your struggle emego ka release since on detention achọrọ m ịma ihe imego what and what maka with your tweet na-afụ between you and the lawyer dị in charge ya because your tweet is always fighting the lawyers gị na the lawyer na-anụ ọgụ mgbe ọwụna dị in charge the case your tweet na mgbe ọwụna gị na the lawyer na-agba mgba front and back mgbe ọwụna so I want to really know your own personal struggle ebe Nnamdi nọ ka release Nnamdi from DSS like your own personal hit go personally. That's just my two simple questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I have no personal struggle. This is a struggle of government. Biafra government is fighting Nigeria to see the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be released by just ordinary court. Court has released him. Is he free today? The answer is no. That is to tell you that no court is going to free him. It is going to come from the bombardment we are giving the Nigerian state. Economic strangulation, making sure that very soon we'll stop all oil exploration in Biafra land. This is what is going to compel the government to release him. And if he is not released, we declare the restoration of Biafra. We are going to capture many of them and use them as a prisoner exchange of prisoners. Number two, the ESN you called, we don't have ESN. What we have is Biafra Liberation Army. So go and ask those who kidnap in the name of ESN, who are they working for? Thank you.
Because can I ask from because Chief Chief reaction to you.
I react just Zakonata Mogi can doesn't wake a job because Ngene, get straight to your question. Then as a equal IJ. Ngene, over to you.
Chief.
No, it was a double mute. He should be fine after a while.
I'm mute. Dalun. Prime Minister. Ndị Biafra in exile ajụjụ nke mbụ na Galia ọdụrụ enough ị na-asụ oyibo si anyị
economic strangulation of Nigeria. Aghọtara m ya maka na since nne anya sit at home a na-eme ndị ọ na-eme affect enwe economic strangulation ndị Igbo ka ọ na-strangulate their economy. Amfọrọ m ka o si eme Nigeria affect ya gbaliela anyị ka o si eme Nigeria affect. Ọ bụ na ndị Niger Delta anyị mana mgbe ha na-akụwa pipeline na ọsịa na ọsụrịa na ọ na-asabotaji Nigeria economy ya kụziela anyị ya gbaliela anyị nke ka a sit at home si strangulate Nigeria economy. That is one. Nke bụ awụrụ ọ na-egekwe ntị kedu indices kedu yastik o ji measure success maka mgbe ọ na-asị na ibe niile ọ na-eme the successful ihe niile ọ na-eme the successful kedu yastik o ji measure this success because anyị nwewu ndị Igbo nọ n'ala Igbo ọ bụrụ maka ha nwa nọ n'obodo oyibo ụmụ ha na-agụ akwụkwọ ha na-alụ ọrụ na Monday na-asị anyị sit at home ebe anyị nwa nọ n'ala Igbo wu ndị Igbo na-agwa unu na ihe unu na-eme adịrị anyị mma si nọ na chọọ another way ị na-asị anyị na ọ dị successful. So all two simple question kedu ka isi believe on ihe na-eme na strangulate Nigeria economy. That is one. Number two, kedu ya stick ije measure success gị ebe anyị nwa na-efili the bond na agwa gị na ọ dị ọzọ anyị mma ịchọ ịnata jụọ ndị Igbo taa ndị Igbo na Enugu na Anambra na the whole southeast jụọ ma ha kacha sit at home. Jenu ka njụcha ajụjụ na asị m can you answer me? Don't cut me. Don't cut me short. Ka njụcha ajụjụ ọga.
Let me answer this one, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So, your problem. Can somebody mute? Can you mute yourself because I'm hearing myself? Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, your problem is caused by Nigeria, not Simon Ekpa. I'm not the reason why you are not educated to know what the government.
I'm more educated than you are. I am more educated than you are. You've been talking like an idiot.
Can you not interrupt me, please? If you are educated, you will know that the Southeast governors have released the impact of sit at home in the Southeast, and it is not from your pocket. The economic loss to sit at home is not measured from what you are getting to your pocket. It is measured by the revenue that the government is generating, and they have seen almost 10 billion loss, as at last year or so. That's number one. So if you are educated, you will be able to follow up the report, the economic indices, and the report coming from the governors that you are believing in today. Number two.
How does the government make its money, your guy?
Can you just keep quiet?
Chelụ ka just ji n'ihe agwa ya nwa anyị na-amụta education na-aga left and right anyị mama nke left ka anyị nọkịta chelụ biko ngwa Simon jeba n'iru onwe ka na-eme etu go on Jema.
Yeah, again you talk about the pipeline of Niger Delta. The Biafra government are now making sure that we delegitimize Nigeria, also stopping them from exporting oil, and the oil pipeline will be going on flame until they leave our land. That is happening as we speak. And another thing is that I am not here for you people to agree. There is always a two sides to a coin. You believe and you don't believe. And very, very fortunate to me and many Biafrans is that those who believe in what we are doing are bigger than you in number. And that is democracy. So it does not matter what your opinion are on this. Since you don't believe in Biafra, we can never force you to believe in Biafra. But those who believe in Biafra are bigger in number than you. And let me tell you, what we are going to do to you people, you are going to be surprised. We will adopt even more stringent measures.
You are going to allow this person to make threats?
We are going to adopt more stringent.
Simon, yeah, Charlo. One thing that will not happen, any space of a host of threats, it cannot fly. I try my threats. You can open your own space and threaten people. Some might be radicalized, some might not be, some might be sitting on the fence. That's fine. But allowing threats to fly here will not work. Simon, in which you may pay your own space, sequel to this, that's fine. That conversation will continue, but I will not allow you to make threats on this space. Go ahead with your comments so you can extend more questions.
If you have
Go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Mute yourself, Simon.
Yeah, if you had listened to me, you would know that there is nothing like threat. I am only explaining the stringent measures that the Biafra government will adopt, and I make reference to South Korea. So some of you are looking for a better life, looking for civilization, and I'm making reference to.
And hold on, let him land so that I can hear what he wants to say. Hold on.
Bikono, Ada, can you stop this thing? Stop interjecting. Bikono, let's respect each other. Stop interjecting. Simon, go ahead.
And then I am making reference to South Korea. And then you talk about threat. Is that a threat? South Korea adopted a policy that those who did not support their freedom during the time of their independence fighting will not have citizenship. It is a measure that government can adopt to punish those who did not support the freedom. And I made it very clear here. So South Korea is a very developed country. You can go and check it. Is that a threat?
Okay, so what you are saying here, got it clear to everybody.
Chief, because my question, or my question.
No, Ngene, please don't.
Ngene, we're coming back to you. Ngene.
Please, we'll come back to you. Hold on. I want to hear what you said.
On my question, he did not answer my question. He did not. Second question, can he stick mention? He kept here bragging here. Not the successful. Not some of four. Can he stick arrive in a success here? He did not answer the question.
You cannot be here asking me for yardstick. Do you have any yardstick in Nigeria to measure your own success?
Yes, I have a yardstick. I will get barrier at the whole southeast. People want to sit at home to stop. That's a yardstick.
Sit at home cannot stop. Sit at home cannot stop until Biafra come.
Because you are struggling for your.
Ngini Chelo, Simon, I think you get Chelo Kokucha Kihota Jujia. So that you will not just be listening to respond. Kotagoda Jujia Kimara Kishasa. At least you are on ground, on a southeast. Biko. Thank you. Ngina mami chori Juju Gozo. Ko Ijuchago. Thank you.
Yeah. Now Biko, come again in case of Rotara. I told him, I'm na southeast. Urezigbo onye Igbo. Na bombo na Igbo. Ndị Igbo niile na-ebe akwa sị kwụsịrị ha sit at home. What makes one a leader is to listen to your people. That's a yardstick. Na ndị Igbo niile nọ na southeast na asịsị kwụsị sit at home. Gị na ndị otu gị nọ na diaspora na Finland na asị anyị na ọ na work. I want to know the yardstick Ijema arrive na sit at home gị is not hurting ndị Igbo, rather it is favoring ndị Igbo. I want to understand the yardstick. Can we mali ihe neme?
It is favoring Igbo because the sit at home will make the international community to understand your plight in Nigeria. Of course, I'm not saying that you must understand me, because this is beyond your own understanding. And in a state of war, you do not expect to be eating in the golden plate and golden spoon. Nigeria is at war, and you must not be fighting about your pleasure or your businesses and all that. A lot of business have been destroyed in Lagos. How have you been able to solve the problem of those whom their businesses have been burned in Lagos after the election? Have you been able to approach and how do you handle
Lagos,
that?
Lagos is not my business. My business is
Lagos is not your business. That is the problem. It is my business because you don't care about any other person except yourself.
Is Lagos part of Biafra? Why should Lagos be your business? Is it part of Biafra?
Are you not in Nigeria? Are you not in Nigeria? Are you not in Nigeria?
Decorum here, please. Chuk, sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
Simon, you didn't really give the yardstick you are using to measure. But then it's in one yardstick that is working in Nigeria. So apparently there is no way to measure the success of this thing. So it's just about let's continue doing it, whether people like it or not. Provided the order comes from you. No, if I can't get them, then we'll continue to do that. Meanwhile, we don't want this thing to continue. Okay, that said, another question I want to ask you is something a lot of people would want to ask you. Do you really enjoy this bloodshed? And then when I'm able, do you really enjoy this bloodshed? Anebu Makai, Anebu Ndenna, then Azwafia. Do you enjoy it? Na Nibo. I'm not talking of any other place than Nigeria. You can go ahead and answer the question.
Thank you very much. That's actually the reason why I came into the struggle in the first place. The question you should be asking yourself before Simon Ekpa in 2019 or before Simon Ekpa in 2022, what was the issue of security in Igbo? Were there no killings? That is the question. Before Simon Ekpa emerged, were there not bloodshed? And who was responsible? Simon Ekpa only came as a good guy to stop it. So, and of course, some of you have fallen to the to the trap of being used as a propagandist to project the propaganda and the narrative of the enemies. And I'm not moved. That's why some of you see me as a heartless person, because none of your propaganda moves me. I have a target. The target is to free my people from the Nigeria onslaught. That onslaught has been there before Simon Ekpa emergence. But today, some of you are, some of you, of course, very few of you, are making it as if the bloodshed in Igbo land started immediately Simon Ekpa appeared. But it was as a result of the bloodshed that gave birth to Simon Ekpa. But none of you are talking about it. And also, not just in Igbo land. It is all over Nigeria. People are being killed, slaughtered every day. And of course, you claim to be supporting one Nigeria, yet you don't care about other people. I care about other people. My own perspective of how to help people is not just about Igbo people alone. I've stretched to Middle Belt. I've stretched to Juduwa, when Yoruba people were, very active in their Yoruba nation. We were making alliances everywhere to stop the killings of indigenous people in Nigeria. So when you are making this comment, please set the record very straight that before Simon Ekpa emerged, there has been bloodshed upon bloodshed in Igbo land, and that bloodshed gave birth to Simon Ekpa. So is it true or false?
Okay, I have a question for you. On a statement you make, Leba, he said you are going to apply stringent measures, and then you made reference to South Korea. So I want to ask you this question. So somebody that has been living in Southeast all his life, doing businesses, have investments, kids, everything, but he doesn't support the struggle. So when Biafra comes, you will have to extradite the person, or you have to ostracize the person. What are you going to do to that person? Because you are saying you will deny the person.
No, listen, that's where you're getting our perspectives on this is that everybody in Biafra land is paying the price of the liberation of Biafra.
No, but you just said
our target will be, let me answer you, finish now. This is not just a yes and no question answer.
Okay, so he said, okay, explain.
So listen, so everybody in the Southeast today and in Biafra land are paying the price of this liberation. We are not yet seeing bomb and resistance and all that. It is not going to happen. We have devised a means to fight Nigeria in a very sensible and systematic way. That we're not going to go into conventional war with Nigeria.
Okay,
that will not happen.
Let me interject you. From the point you just made now, is a serious contrast to what one of your disciples said here. That
please, can you listen to what I'm saying and forget? Can you not interject me? Let me finish explaining.
I want to say it so that you can respond at once. He said that following the referendum, when you people have been given the mandate, you would declare Biafra, and then that you people have over 100,000 trained military personnel to defend Biafra. What it means is that if you look at that statement, there's an undertone there, war undertone, right? What it means is that there's likelihood there's going to be a war. And that's why you are training, or you're going to deploy about 100,000 military men to defend Biafra.
And I'm telling you now that we are already at war. Are you not hearing me? There are different type of war. There is this conventional war, and there is this guerrilla war. We are already at war with Nigeria. So yes, we have over 100,000 men, and it is going to increase. It is preparation to make sure that our land and borders are not overrun by the enemies. Okay? So what I'm trying to say now is that when after Biafra, listen please, if you really want to get what is going on, and this one that is here, smiling and smiling, after Biafra declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra, we are going to start delegitimizing Nigeria, making sure that no government house in Biafra land will stand, making sure that no Nigeria representative anywhere offices are located in Biafra land, we're going to demolish them. That's where we are going. And that does not mean a conventional war. Okay? After that, the international community, those who did not care before, they will begin to talk about it. Just like this, our brother Daniel said before, that before other people got their independence, it was in the global discussion and the global stage. We will make Biafra go into global stage. And the process is what we have started so far. So it is not that you must support it, but those of you in Biafra land, whether you support it or not, for the result we have had so far in the sit-at-home, the compliance, whether it is by willingly or whether you are not doing it, you are being scared, as some of you are presenting it, it does not matter. What matters is that every sit-at-home, people are sitting at home. So for the fact that the majority of Biafrans are sitting at home, we give that credit to every Biafran in the homeland. Our target of any kind of sanction, if it is going to come, will be those who are in diaspora, who knows that their people are getting killed, and all they could do is to support those who never traveled outside Nigeria to know how people should be living. And then also, everybody should understand, nothing comes easy. Most of you that are residing somewhere today, they fought freedom and they got their independence. From America to many countries in Europe to Asia, they fought and people died. And because so many people had a business and they were doing well, they did not say, okay, let us not fight because my business will go. Let us not fight because you are destroying the economy. Let us not fight because people are going. The only reason why some of you are talking the way you are talking today is because of the War of Biafra 1967, which was not strategically fought. According to today's,
let me
today's understanding,
you're actually extending your conversation, and the more you talk, the more there will be more questions because you're making some points. So your plan now, from just what you said that some people are afraid of the war of 1967 because it was not strategically planned.
Yes.
So what you are saying invariably is that you are now strategically planning another war on our own soil. Because the war will definitely be, from what you're saying, will definitely be in our home soil, right? And then the war we had between 1967 to 1970 took us back. And then post-war, we had to rebuild an Igbo for the past 54 years. So what it means is that what you are planning, or what you are telling over 1,000 people here, is that you are strategically planning another war on Igbo land soil. Right, so I just want to be sure that is what you're saying. Go ahead.
I believe that I'm speaking English here, or broken English.
I had you clear,
so you should understand me very well. I said
so
we are already at war. We are already at war with Nigeria. We are already at war, and what we are preparing is a defense of Biafra land to make sure that our women and children are not killed. And I said again, we are not going into conventional war with Nigeria. So how do you want me to explain it for your own understanding?
Okay, so what you are saying here, the war you are talking about is apparent. Of course, denying access to dividends of democracy to the southeast, and the killing of our people by the Fulanis, of which for that reason ESN was instituted, and all of those things.
And making sure.
Hold on, let me make my point so that you can respond. Hold on,
okay.
Let me make my point so that you can respond. So what I'm saying in effect now, because if you are saying all this, so what if when you declare Biafra post-referendum, okay, and you say now we are Biafra and you're going to defend the soil, and exactly what happened in 1967 repeats itself, do you have what it takes to defend this thing you are pushing? Because when you declare that and federal government says no, you are still within the territorial integrity of Nigeria. And for that reason, we have not agreed for any part of the country to secede. Do you have what it takes? Because that's the same question they asked Ojukwu then. Do you have? Let me land
okay,
so I can respond. Do you have what it takes to defend an Igbo? Because it's not just about making statements, because that was exactly what happened, and it led to 3 million people dying from that war, including my own grandfather. So do you have what it takes to make sure that what happened between 1967 to 1970 will not repeat itself again in the Southeast? You can now go ahead and respond.
All right. So let me ask you a question before I respond to you. Now, if I tell you now that yes, we are prepared for that, will you support Biafra?
I will not support Biafra if with the way you are going about things. Because
that is the point.
Listen,
so how do you think? How do you
want yes or no question?
You see,
you don't want yes or no answer, but then you want me to respond like that. It doesn't work that way.
Please. We know the people we are dealing with. We
know
no,
that you don't know. You don't even know.
I know now. You just answered me. Because there is no way.
I gave you the reasons why I will not. If it's going to be with the arrogance you are displaying on this space, I will not.
Oh, you don't know? You don't have you not followed the freedom fighters?
It's not just the rule of engagement. Some of us have actually done things that can actually wow you. You don't know the rules of. It's not just you that knows the rules of engagement or the rules of war. Listen. Let me land.
So you
let
have
me
just
land.
answered
Let me
me,
land, Simon.
And the
Simon,
answer you gave, and the answer you gave here,
this is actually my space.
Is enough.
You know that. This is actually my space. So let me land. If you are speaking this way and we're asking you a question, and then you feel like by throwing a question to me so that I will give you yes or no answer, but you don't want to answer yes or no, then that is very unfair point or position to take, because you can't tell me, so if you give me this now, what? No, there are things, because if I ask you some question now to say yes or no, you will not answer yes or no, because you want to explain things further. So do not make it that way. If you ask me a question and I didn't say yes or no, then it means that that my point is invalid, or I don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I want to clear you on. So go ahead and respond to it.
Okay, can I address you now? First of all,
go ahead.
We are dealing with people with different ideology, different polar part. Okay? So that's why I said I am not here to convince you to agree, because it is part of democracy. People will have their opinion. But I'm telling you what we are going to do to achieve our aim. So, and it is left for you to believe it or not to believe it. And I cannot be here now telling you how I'm going to do what you don't believe in. So why do you want to know? If you don't actually believe in Biafra, why do you have to know what we are doing?
Biafra.
So I will answer. I will give you the answer that I know that cannot jeopardize what we are doing.
No. You are painting a very false and negative narrative.
You just said it here now. You said you don't believe in this kind of Biafra.
Your response and your reaction is that you are painting a different narrative, right? The way I am, right? And Biafra you are painting the picture here is just Igbos, of which is not. Because in a question somebody asked, now the map you drew now, is it just Igbo? Because if Obuni Mekata Bundibo before nearly Arofia, so does it mean Nandibo this is Arofi here in Aquado? Then in the south now will be part of that Dorado, that Disney World you are painting, because they are not actually suffering what Ndibo now suffer now, right? So
Ndibo, let me explain to you. Ndibo was designed to suffer in Nigeria, and it is not from Simon Ekpa. Ndibo have been disenfranchised from allocation, from education, from everything. So when we are fighting to leave Nigeria, it is very normal that Ndibo will suffer the most, because they need this freedom more than anybody. It is normal.
All right.
And that is exactly what Nigeria designed. So we must be very, very deep in thinking to understand what is actually going on. That the reason they did it in a way is that Ndibo will always be the hardest knot for Nigeria to break. And for that reason, they structured Nigeria in a way it is. That some of you have been captured, mentally. Okay?
Miko, let's go ahead.
That is the way it is. So Igbo have to suffer the biggest part of it, because it was designed by Nigeria to be so.
Simon,
so that we can never rise up against them.
Simon,
Mr. Simon, just a
knock off one on this line because
Chief, someone called Daniel Neku. So
Daniel, go ahead.
I like him. Yeah, I like him. The point he make, the cost of sit at home to the federal government. Because I like him about the statistics. They say that the sit at home is costing the federal government. And then, unfortunately, I try again the cost to federal government. We are not seeing it. Rather, the impact is actually on the SMEs in the Southeast. In over 2 years, at least, Ndi Igbo lose 7.6 trillion naira as a result of sit at home in the Southeast. The data is there. But we cannot pinpoint the cost to federal government. The sit at home in the southeast, Igbo federal government, say oil, and Niger Delta. In short, even the gas and what in Igbo, getting Imo State, na some part na Abia State, didn't stop federal government from harnessing it. Well, 2016, when we had the Niger Delta Avengers, they were shutting down. They shut down Focado and many other oil exploration in the Niger Delta. We knew the cost on the federal government. We knew short every day. I know for the cost. Maybe I discussed what the cost of sit at home in the south of southeast sit at home to federal government of Nigeria. So you know, if I off my phone now, we are hurting ourselves. One, and in a me because you want to liberate yourself. You cannot go and start hurting yourself because you want to liberate yourself. Because at the end of the day, who will now survive to enjoy that thing that you want, you believe that you are chasing? That's one. Two, but now,
can I address you before you go to
Cambia,
please,
just
so
a minute.
forget.
Let me. I'm coming.
Because I will
now.
forget now. You tell me.
I will remind
Let me
you. Don't
address
worry.
this.
I will remind you, Chief. I will remind you. Hold on. The next one is this referendum, and the way you are going about it. You are mentioning that it could cost. It will definitely cost so many things. But then that is why I asked before. Which principle of self-determination follows? Are we still following the UN principle of self-determination? Can we get a new charter? Because Amamuna, Noboros also Biafra, Boninazo self-determination. And we call it zona walk on a Western Sahara. And we did zona Western Cape. I am in Kendi, Catalonia, and so many other places in the world. And we are seeing how they are going about it. Nobody is threatening anybody. Because it is not only your government that can persecute to other people agitators. In those other places, they are also going through their own, either politically, socially, or economically. And what you make it threats, money militia, because if you are saying this, nobody in the UN will listen to you. I believe that there were other means I get you embark on these things. How many diplomatic efforts can I take when the Biafra government in exile beyond Nigeria to say this is how we are going about this? In a sit-at-home that it is people in the world know. Nobody knows about the sit-at-home in the southeast. It is not a global news. The killing in Plateau State recently has gathered more global attention than the sit-at-home in the southeast for 3 years now. The data is there. So, that we should look at the cost to the agitation, and the cost to Nigeria.
So can I address you?
We will, yes, I can finish. Then we should reevaluate it. I believe no ya can that when they qualify. Open they want to hate again. Open they want to see no hate Biafra.
Can I address you now?
Actually, can land the guy
Because in a land, a lot of people
Prime
are here.
Minister. I'm making my submission. You know, I've been silent since in Eku. I'm just taking some of the points that you've made. You understand? So there is a need for us to reevaluate this thing, because the cost. Let's count the cost. It is not helpful to us as a people. If you're being honest, you know. Biko, you can go ahead and respond.
All right. It is us. Let me address you. It is very wrong to say that the sit-at-home is causing economic hardship.
Simon, because you use 2 minutes, can you make about yourself?
It is very wrong. When this person was talking, did not ask him to use 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, co-host. Oh yeah, Miroji co-host.
So and I am the key person here that everybody is asking question. Okay.
I am the key person.
I'm the key person. I'm the one. Everybody is asking questions.
Chooks. It's okay. Chooks. Happy.
So in the southeast, it is very wrong to say that the sit-at-home is causing economic hardship to Igbo. No, it's wrong. How you can measure whether it is causing economic hardship to Igbo is that go to every trader and ask them, how much are you making every week? From last year, or from the time the sit-at-home started, how much were you making every week when the sit-at-home was not there, and how much are you making now? That is how to know whether people are actually, in economic
and the
activity.
people are telling you that it's
So,
strangling them.
can you stop? Can you stop, please?
The people who are in the southeast are telling you that your methods are.
But Akwekwe Church na vigil now. Nobody will complain.
That's none of your business.
Akwekwe Church and vigil.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Emana all them because Mr. Simon all them money on a space today. Ndị Igbo na-ebe and I want to bụ nwatakịrị. You understand? Ona anyị nọ kịta buli ya n'isi. Ya mara ndị ọzọ na-achọ the same thing na anyị na-achọ. So ihe a bụ oghere iji wee market ihe onwe gị. Bulu oghere ị ga-eji wee ghọta ndị gị na ha na-eme ka ife. O nwere reason ndị na-achọghị ịdị na challenge gị na n'ịmago na interject because I believe na at the end of the day because people na say na ịdịrị accessible. Kịta anyị na ebe a many people na-ege ntị. You understand? So at the end of the day they will know exactly who you are. And it's not by exactly what you say, it's your attitude and everything. Biko Adana, Honorable Adabiko, stop interjecting. No, you understand? I ain't telling you about at the end of the day, Abasi also, I go a mile. The only thing me kubuna, Ali Igbo, I ain't telling you coordinaka. Esinaka gi we me bia ni Igbo. We will not forgive you. You understand? Esinaka gi we me bia ni Igbo. Kawayen joko she wedi before. We will not forgive you. That is why my name Daniel Ebo nke gị bụ Simon Ekpa. You understand? Nnemeka nwachi na-emel ha ncha niile na ebe a abụkwana the vehicle anyị eji destroy ya n'Igbo. Ya bụ ayọ nna ya onye ọbụla asịrọkwa gị ga-achụ na ihe ọbụla ị na-achụ chụọ ya mana ị na-achụ ya mee ka ị chọọ ịma na gị na ụmụnne gị na-emekọ ihe. Anyị nwere izi na culture Igbo culture eji wee nwee ụmụnna nwee nze na ọzọ enwere ego eji ime ihe ọgbachi ndị ọzọ nkịtị ma ọ na-atụ ọda ka ha ga-esi wee mee ihe. Nsị gị na ihe akịta na ọ na-eme ma ọ na-afụ m ụfụ n'ahụ ihe dele gị ya eju m ka o si wee na-afụ gị ụfụ n'ahụ ka m esi wee nye aka ka ọ gaba agaba mana ịbịazie na dismiss ya sị mba na o nwere isi mba na ịma na eziokwu adịrọ n'ime ya ka anyị gwakwa na onwe anyị eziokwu. Anyị abụrụ ndị izizi mekwenu self determination anyị amabụkwa ndị last group ga-eme self determination. I believe m n'ihe ọbụla a na-eme you need to look out from other people's experiences. Ayọ ka nna ayọ ama m na mgbe ịbata na space you started by insulting na memory nka good and fine I'm doing it in my own capacity. Don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow and my job abụrụ ịbịa na-epost ịgwa ndị mmadụ ife m na-eme. But we need peace and harmony in the southeast. Ayọ ka nna ayọkwa maka one day nwekike ntị adị nwayọ na-ayọ gị kịta nwekike one day ma ọ mgbe emechi bike nna ihe eti m na ndị mmadụ ime ebe echi nsị gị ọkwa ngwa gị ife agwa echi nsị gị akwa ngwa gị ya agwa. So let's learn to listen and respect people. Sọsọ ya ka nna ayọkwa n'unu ncha niile ma ị na-eme Biafra ma ibe Nigerianist. Thank you very much. Choose go ya ga next.
Yeah, Biko, we'll go ahead. Ọ ga-abụ na
anyị
ji ama m na-abịa m chọrọ ka eze chite okike abịa ma kwucha then anyị ji ga o biko ka anyị mee ni akwa nkwa biko.
Anyway,
Mba Simon chelu ka onye ọzọ ga o ọ ga-abụ na
now I have not addressed Daniel's question.
Prime
He has
Minister
come to make more comment.
Daniel.
And so the way I have been treated on this space, I have just decided to stick and see how you people are going to, handle this space. But the way I have been treated, that when other people are talking, I am muted and they interject and interrupt me, and I cannot explain what I want to explain to people. I will please leave. You can continue.
No, Biko Chalu,
you can continue your space.
Don't go.
Nobody invited me here.
Mr. Simon, I have one question for you, but the door is open for you to leave. You're not a god. If that is how they worship you, I don't give a damn about you. We are here as in Igbo and in the Biafra. You can leave. But I'm going to question. Okay, that's fine.